Hey guys, how's it going? Alright, this video is about getting the rear spring back into this DR650, and basically I'll get all the wheel back on and everything and then take it for a test ride and see how that works. Now, so I can do that now because all that gear that I got from Vince Strang Motorcycles has turned up. So obviously, if you've been watching the stuff, this shock, just the shock part, not the spring, went up to New South Wales to Vince Strang Motorcycles. They've done their white man magic of revalving it. Have no idea how that works or whatever, but they've done that. This new 8 kilogram spring has been put onto it. So that's the stock DR650. Can't remember, it's a 6 point something spring or whatever. But when you look at it, it's slightly, hang on, I'll come back out so you might not be able to pick it up. It's just, this one is slightly shorter, not by much, but you can definitely see the actual diameter of the spring. This one's a smaller diameter than that one. So that's an 8 kilogram. Oh. I thought, in my limited knowledge and naivety, I suppose you would call it, is that I thought they'd put this on and they'd have it all down to where it should be, and I'd just whack it in. But that's not the case, and that's not the right way of doing it, because obviously you've got a preset, what they call the sag, and there seems to be a way of doing that, which we'll go through doing that. Now, before we get stuck into that, I'll also show you that I've got, Jesus, I'm going to start losing shit before I bloody get to play with it. So this is the front spring. So on the front forks, the old springs are coming out, and we're getting these ones, which are going to make it a bit stiffer. So you can see in there the two springs. Then there's this bit, which I was a bit, I'm not fully understanding how all this works, but I presume that this is the spacer that I've got to cut in half, and so I'm a bit, oh geez, I've got to make sure I cut it straight. And so, but that's to be done, which is not in this video. There's those the gold valve emulators. I was just going to get the T-valves, which Vince said would have been fine, but he didn't have any of those, so I'm getting the good ones, which are going in. The new heavy, well, it's actually, it doesn't say it on this, but on Vince's website it says super heavy duty chain. So this will work, it's a fairly, the same as the stock one, so all your sprockets and everything, it's all, there's different sizes and whatever. I don't understand it all, but basically that's what it is. It's a super heavy duty chain, which is a 525 GXW, so an XW ring chain. For those of you that know what that means, all I know is that should be a much better chain than what the stock one is. That's all I care about. And remember, I busted that bloody stuffed up that bloody bolt in the shock. Well, there you go. I've got the replacement one there, which they've set up, which is really good. What else have we got? So chain, the bolt. Oh, and the last thing is I'll quickly get this out. The steering dampener is what I'm trying to think of. So that steering dampener. So that's going to be quite a while before I get that on. There's a whole heap of other bits and pieces that come with it. But basically what I'm going to do, put all that in there, pack it up and move it out of the way. Don't want to know about that yet. Cool, same with all this stuff, the chain, oh, sorry, and that 44, that sprocket. So that's a 44 tooth. We know the stock one's a 41. So I'm going to swap that out. But that'll be in later ones. I'm trying to do everything so I do something and then I can go out and muck around and just see what kind of like differences it makes without doing the whole lot. Cool banana. So all this stuff gets put away and deal with one thing at a time. Alright, so we get stuck into this rear spring. Alright guys, the first thing I nearly forgot to say is, for the new guys that don't know know me or seen the other videos, I'm not a mechanic, I'm not a professional. I'm just looking at other videos and online tutorials and bits, and just trying to work out how to do it myself, and just do it step by step. So this video may show you, hey, that's how to do it, or hey, that's not how to do it. Alright, so basically, yeah, so we've pulled all this out. One thing I want to say is, if you are looking at this because you've taken out your shock and your spring in for cleaning or whatever purpose, and then you just need to put it back in, before you take this spring off, it's a good idea, I think, that you would measure from a point. You pick whichever point you want to do, so maybe you measure from here, or you measure from here down to where it was originally sitting, so that you have a measurement there. When you take it all back off and you put it on, you'll be able to just stick this in a vise or whatever, however you want to tension this down, but tension it to where it was originally, if that worked for you, before putting it into the bike, because obviously that's going to be a lot easier to do the tensioning while it's out of the bike than when it is in the bike. Alright, and that's what I've got to do. Well, I can't do that because I've got a new spring on it, so it's going to be a little bit different. So what I'm going to do is just take it into the woodshed, put it in the vise, and pre-tension it down to roughly where I think it's going to be, and then I'll have to put it in the bike and then work out what the pre-sag should be, which in the instructions that Vince sent down, he's got a range of where it should be. So there you go. Alright, let's get in and do it. Alright guys, so one vise, just going to put a rag in there, I don't know, bit of protection, tighten that in there. So all I've got to do is keep turning this bottom one, or bring it in closer. So yeah, I'll just turn that so you can turn the whole spring. Just keep turning that so you get to a point. Now I don't know what the point is when I should stop. I don't know. I reckon we'll just go to that. I don't know what it is. I'll just bring this one down. I'm not going to lock it in place. Just to about there. Cool, so now that's ready to get put in the bike. Let's go. Alright guys, so basically we've got to shoot that up and in. There's the bolt that will go up the top here. It's actually going to go through the frame, through there, and then on the other side on the frame that actually screws in. So I might have to get Nay to come and give me a hand, so that I can be putting it up there and hopefully get it, and then she'll be able to use a pair of pliers and feed in, if you remember, in between all the wires, and get that through. And then once that's it, we should be looking pretty good, and hopefully I'm looking for a bloody an install with no incidences. Alright, speaking of no incidences, I've just picked this up. Can you hear that? I don't know if that's supposed to do that. You can see there's a big washer in there, or what, a bit of metal that's moving in and out. I don't know if that's supposed to do it. So hang on guys, I'm just going to quickly go back in the woodshed and going to take it apart and just make sure that this part here is all assembled correctly. Oh, I just took it apart. I didn't have to. There was nothing wrong with it. It's just that rubber cushion there for the bottom out wasn't that can move freely up and down, and it just wasn't pulled all the way down to the bottom, so it now doesn't shake. Alright, let's get into it. Alright guys, so I've managed to get Nate to give me a hand. So basically, feed this up through here. Now remember, if you've got the stock exhaust system, you might have to have removed that thing, which you would have already done anyway when you got it out. I'm lucky enough. Look at that, looking good so far. Alright, I'll get myself moved. So apparently, if you can, having two people was going to be helpful. Alright guys, so we've got that bolt in. We had to wriggle a little bit, stuff around, but we got it through. So we'll go around the other side and we'll just tighten that up. Alright guys, so we're just going to quickly tighten this up. Hopefully it's threading through on the other side. Yeah, so I'm not going to over tighten this just at the minute. So that's in there now. Now we'll go down to the bottom and we've got to put that linkage and all that kind of stuff on. Alright guys, as per usual, I've grabbed all this bloody stuff and going, okay, what bit goes into where? So what I've done is I've just gone back to my video and I've just taken a photo so I can just make out what part goes where and where these bloody dog bones are and which way they're supposed to be and all that kind of stuff. So that's what I'm doing now. I won't go through the whole process of doing that because it'll just bore the crap out of you. So that's very important. If you take photos before pulling things apart, you can always, when you come back, you can have a look at it. Or check other videos and stuff like that anyway. Alright. I'll come back to you when I'm back down there ready to put it in. Actually guys, I just had a thought. I should most probably make a mention. The bolts, I'm just putting a bit of grease on there. I don't know if you have to, but it'll certainly make it easier for when, if I have to take it, or next time I go to clean it or whatever. Now I know some of you will be saying it should be anti-seize grease or whatever, but I figure it's not going to do any harm, should help. Alright guys, so I reckon I've got this all laid out the way that it's supposed to go, the right bolts in the right spots. I actually thought I was going to put these washers over here, and looking back on the video, luckily I left myself a little message that no, they go over there. So just, yeah, another importance. If you're like me and you don't know really what you're doing, it would pay to do that. Take photos so you can look back on them. Alright, greasy bolts are hard to handle. Oh, the bloody chain's in the way. There we go. Straight through, look at that. Beautiful. That should go on the other end of that. Okay, first bolt in. So now, suppose, I don't have to do that one just yet, do I? I don't know. Oh man, that's really stiff on that. Oh, that's right. So this, what are you doing, Perks? Got to make sure that this thing's turned. Oh. Alright, hang on a minute. Yeah guys, I was having trouble getting that to go over there, but this whole shock part here, you can actually, while it's bolted in up there, you can turn that, and it just wasn't running straight. So now you can see that that just easily goes in there. Alright, so we'll put this one in. I should screw in. Bloody hell. Now what we've got to do is put these up there, which means I'm going to have to move this swing arm, take the gotcha strap off to bring that down and so I can line it up, and I've got to remember to have these washers in between there. So I'll just readjust myself. Oh, alright, so I'll let this gotcha strap go down. About there, I reckon. Bloody love those gotcha straps, that's so easy. Okay, so one of these on that side. which will then thread through there. Washer on there. Oh, okay. Bring that out a little bit. That's a bit silly. That goes up through there. Out there. Look at that. Geez, I reckon I'm doing all right. So now, I think that's pretty good. So all I've got to do is go around, tighten that top bolt, and all these here, and then wipe off all the excess grease so that when we're going through those dusty tracks, it doesn't all attract to it. Cool. Alright, so quick tighten of this top bolt. Now it wasn't overly tight, it was, you know, firm when I did that up. Now obviously all these wires have got to get put back together. I check the colours of the wires, so that one there, that one on there. I'm going to re-tighten all that up, but yeah, I'll do that. Job done. Alright guys, so all those nuts are tightened up to, you know, I haven't used a torque wrench, and you should use one, but I haven't, so whatever happens, happens. That's my fault. So all I've got left to do is I've got to put that back wheel on, so then I can adjust the sag, and then obviously to adjust the sag, you'll see those doodads in there have to be turned to adjust it. And it's a really kind of a shitty spot once it's in there. To bloody get something in there to turn it around, it's going to be a pain in the ass. And I suppose, like I was saying, if you know where it's supposed to be, it's a bloody good idea to do it before you get it in there. But anyway, so I'll get this back wheel on, and then we'll have an attempt at doing that. Alright guys, back wheel's on. She's all bloody working. So I've jacked this the bike up so that both wheels are off the ground. And all I've got to do is pick a point on the mud guard, and I've got two little zip ties which I'll use as a reference of where I'm doing it from. And then down to the axle, we've got to measure that. So I'm reading 56 centimetres. So I'll write that down, 56 centimetres. Then I'll take the jack so that both wheels are on the ground and holding itself up, re-measure that, and the difference between the two should be between, where is it, shit, it's here somewhere guys, there it is. Adjust the spring tension to try to get the sag to between 65 millimeters and 80 millimeters, so 6.5 centimeters and 8 centimeters. Cool, alright, we'll bring it down. I might have to get Nay to give us a hand because I can't sit on the bike and measure at the same time. Okay guys, so Nay's here. All I've got to do is sit on the bike, and now Nay's going to re-measure what I just measured. I haven't added any extra weight, it's just my own weight.
47.
47?
47.
Alright. Alright guys, so we just did the maths on that. So that's 9 centimetres worth of sag in it. So in my understanding, we've got to make it not sag too much. Not sag that much. which means that I have to tighten that up, the doodad. So we're going to go through the process of doing that, and then we'll come back to you. Alright guys, I've found a little gap that I can get into, and it looks like it's going to work. It's tedious, but it's going to do the job. Alright guys, we've done the adjustment. Nate's been a bloody great help. So yeah, just bang, 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 bang until you bloody get it and check it, and then bang, bang, bang a bit bloody more and check it again. So now we've got the difference is 7.5. So going with what Vince had on those instructions was 6.5 to 8. So I'm within that realm, and I suppose if you're a really good rider, you'd know exactly where you want to be. As you know, I'm not. But yeah, that's it. So it's gotten a bit bloody late now. I was hoping to get this out into the tracks to have a bit of a squirrel around and tell you guys what I thought of it. So that's going to have to wait until tomorrow, which you're going to see in a couple of seconds. Alright, see you tomorrow. Hey guys, how's it going? It's the next day, and what I'm doing at the minute is I just came out and I realised my bloody camera, I went to turn it on and the bloody camera wasn't there. So I thought, oh shit, I got to backtrack, it's fallen off. And then as I got down a little bit, I noticed that the microphone was actually hanging on to it, and it was hanging down here. Anyway, alright, so today is the day that I get to test out the rear suspension. So I've just done a big lap just on the tar, just to feel how it is on the tar, and I can already say I'm fucking super bloody excited, because you can really feel the difference just on the tar. And now I'm really excited about getting the bloody front done, because you can feel how shit the front is now that the back's really good. So anyway, I'll shut up and we'll just bloody get going. I'm also, this is the first time I've been off-road with the new Sony action camera. So obviously, to start with, it didn't start very good because it fell off, but that's because of the way I've mounted it using, what do you call it, that, what do you call that shit? The sticky, the bloody pointy, oh, you know what I'm talking, Velcro! Using the Velcro. Alright, so I'm not going to go crazy out here, I'm just, because obviously I've only just done it, so I'm not going to go crazy, but I want to give it a bit of a workout, and then get back, check all the bolts, make sure nothing's come loose. So far everything's just hey, feeling bloody fantastic. So we're out at the proving ground where we always come out, because it's so close to home. It's bloody, you know, 2 minutes to get here. Oh, I tell you what, it's great to be back on the bike. Crazy. Little jumperoonie. Yeah, so it's feeling really good, but then I got it's just great to be back on the bike.
You know, the last bike I was on was a postie bike, so anything other than that's going to feel bloody fantastic anyway. But look, you know, so far this is just feeling bloody miles different. Don't take it from me. Obviously the spring, everything's got to settle in before I suppose it really gives a true thing. But yeah, you can just tell, and obviously everybody that you speak to that has the suspension upgrade done will tell you it's just such a difference. So I'm only kind of like feeling half of it, or even less than half, because I think the front's going to make the biggest difference. Alright guys, so this video doesn't go too long, I just wanted to tag this on the end. Anyway, alright guys, keep on riding!